Hey guys, Ice McFall here, and welcome back to some more Raspberry Flavored. We are on episode 10 now. Today we're going to be having the factory built. It's going to be so freaking cool. There's a few things I need to show you first, but we're going to be doing a lot this episode. I will mention the fact that we finally updated the server to 3.0. It's actually 3.0.2 instead of just 3.0. The server hadn't updated to 3.0 yet, so we skipped a few versions, you know? Anyway, you might see this strip of light, and you probably know what this is. It's a beacon, and it's a very low tier beacon. I'm going to go down there though, and I'm going to show you what that's looking like, because beacons are a little different. Also, I did not mean to glue that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys what's in this beacon. Right now, it's very low tier. I don't have that many resources, so I just used copper and just made a 1-layer beacon. And I chose to have jump boost, so yeah, we have jump boost. And beacons are quite cool in this. We get a lot of options here. And these last ones are really cool. We got the sunny effect, which that just gets applied to all the mobs and players and stuff. It simulates sunlight. Phantoms won't attack mobs that have the effect. So basically that means any player that has the effect isn't going to get attacked by phantoms. So I'm really looking forward to that because phantoms have been so annoying. Bees won't sleep. Undead that have the effect will burn. So yeah, it's just a really good thing to have in your beacon. And then Panacea, I don't know how to say that. Maybe I'm saying it right. That actually just makes it so you can't get any negative effects. Also, the material you put into the beacon, like if we put netherite into here, then this beacon is going to reach really far out. And yeah, this is the range, or this is the tiers. I have diamond in it, so it actually reaches quite far. I think I can show you guys that real quick. Yeah, so even from here, I'm still getting the effect. I don't know if that's a normal beacon thing, but we're still getting it from all the way out here, and we still have a whole nother tier to do, netherite. So yeah, we're going to see how far that'll reach later on. But another thing I've just been working on is this snow farm. I'm going to show you guys that. I'm going to end up rebuilding this, and I'm going to rebuild it probably next episode and then show you guys how it all works. But, you know, we got some snowmen in here. Apparently this stopped running. There we go. I started again. So as you can see, it just goes around and clears all the snow. Snow goes into here, and it all just compresses down into packed ice, which we are going to need for nether highways. So that's why I have started on that. And I'm also going to move the turtle farm later on. I kind of destroyed a little bit of it. Yeah, I don't really need the turtle farm as much anymore. So we're going to end up moving that. And we're also going to be moving that. I don't want that just right next to my base. I don't think I've mentioned that there's a new player on the SMP. And that is Naircole. But I'm going to show you guys their base in a moment. First, I want to show you that Swifty actually made a little bit of a tunnel for the nether hub to his portal. Before, this was kind of just open, if you remember that. So he actually ended up doing that. And I could show you an update to his spaceship as well. He worked on it a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see, he still hasn't moved that up, but he moved the spaceship to be much higher. It is going to be much higher up now. And there's actually a bubble elevator leading up there. But yeah, it's still incomplete. Hopefully he's going to end up finishing that. And that'll be really cool. Also, I'm realizing, I don't think I've showed off the Necromium Claymore. I could be wrong, but this thing, it's pretty cool. Like, you know, it's, oh my gosh. You can attack with its hilt, which staggers mobs and makes them move backwards sometimes. But then you can also hold right click to charge up this attack, which goes through walls as well. And that's pretty cool. And also, it causes mobs to drop their heads quite frequently. And that's how I was able to spawn the Wither. I fought a lot of Wither skeletons with this thing. And I fought the Wither on a stream. If you do want to check out that stream, it's going to be somewhere. It's going to be titled like Fighting the Wither, I think. So I got the Nether Star, and then I made that beacon. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys this claymore. It also has really good movement, again, like the spear, where whenever you right click the charge, it actually moves you forwards, which is pretty cool. And also works upwards too. So as you can see, I can jump pretty high. I can jump higher with this thing. I can actually jump high enough to take damage. Alright, this is actually the direction of Naircole's base. Alright, so I've just gone through Cole's portal, and I can actually show you where this is by opening my map. So, my atlas. As you can see, it's all the way down here, south from my tower. And then over here is Luca and David's Sea Temple. And up somewhere over here, right here, this is Swifty's base. And also, I've built this snowman. I thought, I don't know why I did, I just felt like it. So yeah, there's a snowman right there. Miracle apparently is gonna build a base there on the ice. But currently, this is it. So yeah, just some cool stuff. Like, they actually have a hopper going into this blast furnace and then a hopper going into a barrel. So they're doing like a little bit of automation. They also have a hopper down here that leads into the smoker into this barrel. So yeah, interesting stuff. There's a little bit going on. They also have a lava farm. That's pretty cool. Also, they did make the Schematicannon recipe much more expensive, which is a little crazy. It requires a lot of steel now, and this changed right before I was gonna make the Schematicannon, so that's a little unfortunate, but it'll be okay. But anyway, I'm gonna update you guys in a little bit, and we are gonna get that tower built, or we are gonna get that factory built. So yeah. Alright guys, we are back, and as you can see, I am wearing a full netherite armor. That's what I just did on stream. I went and I mined some ancient debris. I just used TNT because TNT is pretty cheap in this pack. And I found some ancient debris pretty easily. So yeah, we have full netherite armor. I went and I put multi-leap 3 on my leggings, as well as Unbreaking 3. I felt like prioritizing my leggings with Unbreaking 3 because the multi-leap actually takes 1 durability from your leggings every single time you double jump, and the Unbreaking 3 helps with that. I had 2 Unbreaking 3s, so I have one on this, and then I also have one on my pickaxe, and I got those Unbreaking 3s from killing the Wither a second time, and so I got another Wither star, or another star. I crushed that down into Stardust this time, used that in the forge to make these everlasting tablets. I made 6 of those and just made 2 Unbreaking 3 tablets, which I put my leggings and my pickaxe. I feel like those are the ones I'm going to be using the most, so there you go. Eventually I'm going to try to get Unbreaking 3 on everything though, of course. As you guys know, today is the day of the factory, so I have just gone and finished up the factory build in my creative world. So now all that's left to do, get all the items prepared, all the blocks that we're gonna need, and I can build this. So we're gonna need to make the Schematicannon, and the recipe is a little more expensive now, so we're gonna need a bunch of steel. However, I think I get that done. It's just some iron, lead, and blaze powder. I think I have blaze powder even automated in the nether, so yeah, I'll see you guys when I get that place down. So I'm back at the steam engine where we are going to build the factory. And for the Schematicannon, I'm going to need to extend this mechanical crafting setup real quick. And this, of course, this whole mechanical crafter setup is temporary. I've just been needing to craft a few things. Like, I don't think I've mentioned that I've also made a extendo grip, which lets me reach further. So I can like reach up there right now, which is really nice. So I keep that on me at all times. Alright, so it was 2 steel like this, or the steel blocks were there and the steels were on the side. Then we have 2 logs and a dispenser. I should have everything on me to do this. And then the 3 polished stone. There we go. And then that's all gonna just craft and drop on the ground. And I've got my Schematicannon. Now, I might get rid of these mechanical crafters now, just so that they aren't just in the air. I'm going to need to place the Schematicannon, right? And this is where I'm going to put in a schematic that I want. This is going to be the factory schematic, and then I'll be able to hit play after we get all of the resources, and it's going to work. So I'm going to need to make an empty schematic real quick, and then I'll be back to this. And I'm back. So I'm gonna place these in, and I also got a schematic table, so I can put my schematic in here and have it be factory.mbt. Click the check mark. This is my first time ever doing the Schematicannon as well, so this, yeah, this feels really cool. I love this, but it has this little progress bar of it loading in, and yeah, I'm gonna be able to hold this. Okay, it is here now, so I'm gonna place this in how I want it to be. I'll update you guys afterwards. Alright, so I placed the Schematicannon how I wanted to, and I put it in the Schematicannon, and apparently it needs gunpowder to fuel the cannon. I actually didn't know about that. So I need to put a lot of gunpowder in there. Thankfully, that's really easy to make because of the powdery cane, which is similar to sugar cane and it's something I have a lot of. I would like to go to the printer settings and change a few things because the cannon will never replace any solid blocks in its working area, only non-solid and air. I think that's what I want. This is the option I want to use to not replace solid blocks because I do not want it to replace anything that's already here, because it might try to place blocks where my vault is, and that would be very bad. And we're back again. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill the Schematicannon with gunpowder. 400 shots left. Okay, with backup 25,000 blocks. I don't know how much 25,000 blocks is. I don't know if this is 25,000 blocks or not. So yeah, we're just gonna see. I'm gonna put my clipboard in here, and it should give me the material checklist. And now I know what blocks you're gonna need, and this is giving a little bit of insight for you guys of what blocks this is gonna be made up of. I'm gonna get started on this. I'm gonna do it over stream, and I will see you guys when I have all the materials done, and I'll give you guys a time lapse of this thing running. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so before we do our time lapse, I just want to show you all the blocks I had to collect. All of this and all of that, but it is finally together. And I have some things to talk about during this time lapse, so let's go ahead and get it started. Some of you could already probably tell just by the fact that my last episode was 3 weeks ago. I struggled with my factory design a lot. Not only did I finish it over a month after I intended to, I just had very bad planning with it, and it caused me a lot of problems. After episode 9, I went on like 2 trips within a few days of each other, and that already delayed episode 10 by like 2 weeks. So when I finally got back, of course, I really wanted to get this episode out. I finished my factory building in my creative world. Then I started a stream where I plan to get all the blocks that I needed. But that's when I realized that the blocks that I used for the factory build were actually really hard to get. One of the blocks I used was a bunch of coal blocks. I don't even have a tunnel bore yet. Like, I don't have, which is like a create contraption for like that's really good for mining. So I had like really no way of getting that much coal in like a decent amount of time. The other block that I used a lot of was called Hadaline, and I didn't realize that I needed a lot of prismarine for that, and we don't have a prismarine farm. I wasn't gonna go out and collect these things because that would delay episode 10 even more. So what I ended up doing is I went back into my creative world and I tried to look for some blocks that maybe looked similar to those blocks, but I literally could not find any blocks that would work better. There was one block that would replace coal really well. However, it was withered bone. It looked really good. Like it actually looked better than the coal, but withered bone is even harder to get because you have to get withered bones which drop from wither skeletons. So that was even worse. After a while, I came up with just using complete deep slate. And I know that sounds really simple, but I was just really trying to not go only full deep slate. Then I went on to the survival world and I built the deep slate generator, which is just a cobblestone generator, but at deep slate level, so under Y0. I had the AFK at the deep slate generator for a little bit, but I did get it. All it was like full double chest and a half of deep slate I needed. Somewhere around that. And then I had to go and use the stone cutter to change all the deep slate to what all they needed to be, so that was a little annoying. And I kind of think that the new design might actually look better than the old one because the old one's gradient. I don't think a lot of the blocks fit very well, so I think the new build might actually look better. Yeah, I'm still trying to improve my building skills, so I'm sorry if I like overhyped the factory build. I finally got my second build done in this whole series. Thank you guys again so much for 1,000 subs though. I'm gonna try my best to focus on my videos more and actually get more done. Like more done on the world, because only having 2 builds done so far is pretty crazy.